Hey everyone, welcome to Happy. This is a really quick video to introduce the audience to a dwarf mulberry tree, the Girardi Mulberry Tree. I hope I pronounced that right. Welcome to Happy.
Hey, wake
So, look at this big winner. There's my hand next to it. Oh, there's the price tag too, and there's sort of the name, I think. Well, there you go. I picked two of these from Edible Landscaping. One because she's very erect, just starting to bud out. And this girl because she was showing lots of fruit. Look at that, right in front of my eyeball there. That's just one of two fruit that she has. So while I don't really like the shape of her, see that funky, see the way that trunk is there? Typically I want her to start off a single stem, but these apparently are a cross between a red and a white mulberry. They grow to 6 to 8 feet tall, which is very unusual for a mulberry. Very attractive to us because we're going to have as an exhibition garden, different locations, different size plants and a wide variety of plants. And I want to see homeowners realize what they can put in a small space or what they can put in a large space. She's listed as slow growing. Now I took a look at this root system. I took a peek at it, and very typical of a mulberry tree, the roots are definitely not slow growing if the top will in fact be slow growing. We'll know in the future. That's why we want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we're going to follow her over the years to include harvesting. Anywho, it's got a really nice root system, and we are going to, because she's a mulberry, we're going to go from this little pot to this little pot, not so little pot. Getting back to our featured girl, I promise that it's going to be quick. This plant is immune to popcorn disease. I actually had to look that up before we shot this vid. Apparently the Illinois everbearing and the Collier mulberry are susceptible to popcorn disease. That is a fungus that affects the fruit in late spring, early summer. I've never heard of it. That doesn't mean much. I haven't seen it here. Fingers crossed. I'm reading that the fruit are the same size as a normal mulberry, which is at minimum 1 inch long, could be 2 inches long. Of course, the Pakistan mulberry is upwards of 4 inches long. But anyways, normal size fruit on a compact tree, very rooty. So be careful about putting this close to septic tanks, drain fields, any sort of water pipes that can get plugged. Because, mulberry roots are vigorous, like fig. Figs do the same thing. They will seek out willows. Possum haw have really aggressive roots. Now, a mulberry tree can be pruned to any shape. That's what's cool about a mulberry. You can have those limbs going sideways. But now a dwarf, you can let her go grow up and then just keep her pruned at 5 feet or something like that. I mean, that's a really small tree, and if she produces a lot of fruit and she's fruiting on this year's growth. So if you can see, this is a node right underneath my finger there. There's a node. See where it goes from brown to green? That's this year's growth. And she's actually got a total of 3 fruit on this year's growth. So when you prune it, you're going to want to prune it when she's dormant, and she'll fruit on this year's growth. Perhaps They'll fruit on 1-year wood. I'm not saying they don't, but this girl is fruiting on this year's growth. So that kind of educate you on when to prune. You're definitely going to want to prune her when she's dormant if you want to keep her below 6 to 8 feet tall. The Girardi Dwarf Mulberry Tree was discovered by Louis Gerardi in O'Fallen, Illinois. So when you see these small potted plants, this one all about, I swear to you, 7 inches from the tip to the surface of the soil, you see her fruiting. You see this little one flowering vigorously. Unlike its other companions, you want to select this plant and hope like hell that this tendency to flower and fruit continues into adulthood. She's obviously interested in getting herself on out there, flowers and fruits, and that is an ideal plant to have as best hope that this trend continues of good flowering and good fruiting. Well, I hope I introduced you to a new and an interesting mulberry tree, the Girardi Dwarf Mulberry Tree, a cross between white and red, and it seems to be a very interesting plant given that it's a mulberry that stays short. Take care of yourself, take care of someone else if you can. Love you.